I have Kelly Wright. He's actually been around a long time. He's covered a number of conventions, Terrence. You should remember him as well. But he was one of the first black male anchors on network news, and so he's here with me taking the time. He has a show called America's Hope with Kelly Wright, so I'm catching him between those interviews. So thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. So good to see you.
It's great to see you.
It's been too long.
It has been so long, so it's nice to see you. So let's just jump right in. What number convention, if you can remember, is this for you? A stumper right away, huh?
Yeah, I think it's...
More than 10? I mean, how many have you done
It's
so
about
far?
10.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 10.
Yeah. So how
I'm
is...
not that old.
We just met a couple years ago. So how is this convention just alone, the energy? It's just getting started. How is it for you?
You know, everyone says that each convention is historical. This one really is.
Yeah.
Because of the way we've been led into this convention with the dramatic situation of the former president with that attempted assassination, and then just a short time later, the current president of the United States saying, I'm bowing out, here's the baton being passed to Vice President Kamala Harris, and then the energy totally changing for the Democrat Party. So both parties are now energized, and after this particular convention, I think the Democrats will go on to be extremely energized and motivated.
So what are you expecting tonight? You know, Biden will officially pass the torch, and they'll sort of say a goodbye and a thank you to Biden tonight.
So without getting deep into the weeds, I spoke to someone who actually helps the president write his speeches, and this particular person said that this time I haven't. I have not seen his speech, and he's anticipating that the president will show his humility, at the same time take some hubris to talk about his legacy of public service. And so I asked him, what about his public service? He said, if you look at Joe Biden's history, he's the only person that he can think of that has served his entire lifetime serving the public. And that's something that people, I think, overlook.
Yeah.
So that, whether you like Joe Biden or not, because there are many people watching your show who are on the left, on the right, Republican, Democrat, and the ayes, toss all that out. This is a man who has literally served his country.
So let's talk about the name of your show, obviously, is America's Hope with Kelly Wright. So how do you get people hopeful? What do you talk about on that show to kind of keep up the hope, keep hope alive, as Reverend Jesse Jackson would say here in Chicago?
You're right, and I've known Jesse Jackson for many years, and I once wrote a song based on Keep Hope Alive.
Yeah, you're a producer too and a musician, right?
Musician, yeah, singer. But anyway, that's not it. But I created America's Hope because America, as I saw through my lens as a reporter and as a father, as a husband, was always deeply divided on race. And we've all paid a price for that. Corporately, individually, personally, spiritually, and it's brought us down. And now we're playing this cultural division. So I created America's Hope, not as a Pollyannish pie in the sky kind of hope, but one that's born where hope is really born. And that's in despair, that's in adversity, that's in the hard knocks. And as a result of that, just like you've heard Joe Biden talk about the hard scrabble life that he had in Scranton, Pennsylvania, out of that came his hope. Out of my own personal struggles, my hope. Every American, including you, can go back to a time in their life where they turned around because hope was prevalent and it prevailed and you kept it alive.
Absolutely.
And that's what America's Hope is about.
Well, you know, we've seen the protesters. Obviously, we're looking at video of them now, and you just spent some time in Israel. So you obviously covered this war. You know what's going on both sides. So from your perspective, how should this ticket handle that? You know, you were in Israel, you saw what was happening. So just from your perspective, what do you think the focus should be during this convention on that specifically?
This is a very painful time in Israel's history, in Gaza's history, but it's also one that's indicative of the hatred that exists there in the Middle East for this tiny country called Israel. And what happened on October 7th, 2023, many people glossed that over. And then when Israel retaliated, many people began to pounce on Israel. It reminded me of our own 9/11 when people attacked us for the reason that we were Americans, attacked us in such a way, and then when we stepped up to retaliate, the world came against us saying, what are you doing? The same thing is happening here. Now there is heartbreak on both sides. And after talking to the people there on both sides, the one thing I would bring this down to, and why our government should be focused on bringing healing, I went into a Palestinian home. I could not videotape that because they were fearful of Hamas having reprisals against them. And when you have women and men sitting around and you're drinking Turkish coffee in Bethlehem, which is a Palestinian community, and they say, we're just done with the politics, we're done with the war, we want the same thing that every mother wants for their child, and that is for their children to grow up and pursue their dreams without war, without politics, not only for us, but also for Israelis, for Jews, Protestants, Catholics. And people forget that on October 7th, it wasn't just Jews who were attacked. It was also Christians, it was also Muslims. Israel is a beautiful place.
Do you think that they will focus at all on that here, maybe tonight or another night here during the convention?
You know, I would like to think so, but I know that the Democrat Party has been put upon because of the fact that President Joe Biden has stood at right beside Israel, and yet we've seen on our college campuses where people have protested because they want to say, well, what about the Palestinians?
Yeah.
And yeah, I get that. What about the Palestinians?
There are a lot of young people behind
a lot of young people behind that movement, but to understand the history of it, and it's too long of a story to get in on this interview.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is I think the administration will have to assess how it's going to proceed. And I think at this particular point, especially with a lot of people in America who want to see America and Israel stay strong allies, that will be the day of reckoning to decide how they will proceed.
All right, let's talk about the hope in the title of your show, the hope among young people. What do you think the message should be to young people during this convention, some of whom are saying, I'm not going to vote, I don't like either side? You
encounter that just like I encounter that. It's heartbreaking to see that. And I would say to the young people that people died for this right to vote.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is, in this anxiety or this epidemic of anxiety, you know, you've got a lot of young people saying, I'm not going to drink alcohol anymore. And so I would also say, if you're not going to drink anymore, vote some more.
Yes. That's a great note
making
to end
a
on.
difference. Okay.
That's right. America's Hope with Kelly Wright. You can Google it and find his show. Thank you for taking the time. I hope we can talk to you a little bit more later today.
I look forward to it.
That'd be great.
I'm getting buzzed. I got to go.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
You're busy
Much love
here.
to you.
Thank you so much.
Keep hope alive.
Yeah. Back to you guys.